A very good morning, everyone. Mr. Liu Hao Seng, CEO and MD of IJM, Mr. Lee Chun Fai, Deputy CEO, Deputy MD of IJM, my fellow directors, and the management team, and all IJMers. I'm recording my speech here at Bandar Rimbayu this morning in conjunction with the launch of IJM's inaugural Sustainability Week 2021. This year, as you're all aware, the event is being conducted virtually due to the pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, exactly 35 years ago, on 29 September 1986, IJM listed on Bursa Malaysia, thus marking our journey as a public listed company. The two core benefits that we have enjoyed from the listing status have been: one, our continued access to the capital markets that have enabled us to grow to currently an almost 7 billion market cap company. And secondly, it's given us a good platform that, I'm proud to say, enable us to portray and project ourselves very well all these years as a responsible corporate citizen. However, these two dimensions, our access to capital and the public profile, are subject to increasingly different dynamics these days than 35 years ago, or even as recent as 2 years ago. What's certain is how we proactively engage, adapt, and evolve in response to these changing dynamics will impact our future growth and success. In this context, it is no coincidence of the symbolism that we are launching IJM's inaugural Sustainability Week 2021 on the 35th anniversary of becoming a public listed company. What's sustainability? It simply means meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. Sustainability and its three core pillars of environment, social, and governance have always been part of the IJM's DNA, though in the past it may not have been articulated in a structured manner. As a group, we have always believed in holding ourselves to the highest standards of business ethics and conduct. From the early days of subjecting ourselves to ISO quality and safety standards before everyone else, and taking a professional approach to business and organizational setup, boardroom governance, risk management, our CSR programs, adopting strong environmental protection measures, making sure our employees are treated fairly and based on meritocracy, and many others have been embedded and practiced and can simply be identified as part of IJM culture. They aren't completely new topics to us. However, our approach, while in many instances still relevant, have to evolve to be more aligned to global standards, definitions, and expectations, and well documented. What is now increasingly tantamount to setting clear science-based strategies with targets. The external environment is also evolving very fast. Let me emphasize that the external environment is, again, I repeat, changing very fast. In 2019, the World Economic Forum issued a new Davos manifesto that guides companies to be driven from a new shareholder-centric view to a more holistic stakeholder-centric perspective to include shareholders, customers, the environment, and employees. That is stakeholder capitalism. What this means is that the business purpose is expanding beyond just making profits. Although that still remains the dominant measure of how efficiently a business uses its resources. The newer form of capitalism is driven by heightened awareness and appreciation of the global issues such as global inequality, climate change, human rights, among others. Of course, COVID-19 has only amplified the urgency and the need for sustainable issues to be addressed. While countries and governments around the world are taking policy measures, businesses are increasingly expected to be at the forefront of the charge. Our own institutional investors, who in the past hardly asked us about our sustainability commitment and performance, today are clearly applying these questions to assess how future-ready we are. In fact, if you read any analyst report these days, there's a whole section devoted to the compliance to sustainability. Our bankers also tell us that they themselves are under tremendous pressure to transform their business models and lend responsibility. And I can easily testify to that, being a chairman of one of the banks here, that commitment is becoming real and fast. As I mentioned at the beginning of my speech, having continued and competitive access to capital is important for our growth. As a progressive company, we will have to constantly stay ahead of the curve as the terms of engagement with the marketplace will continue to change. Increasingly, we will have another important group of stakeholders who will place high standards of sustainability on corporations. These are the younger generation. As our customers, future workforce, even influencers of their parents, they are much more attuned to products that are made responsibly and want to associate themselves with businesses that resonate with their personal values. As mentioned in Mr. Liu's email to you, Sustainability Week is envisioned to be an annual event to celebrate the group's progress in our sustainable journey, act as a catalyst platform to reaffirm our commitments, and then set higher goals for the future. Clearly, to tackle the demands of the 21st century corporate citizenship, we'll have to adapt sustainability as a whole of business approach. What this means is all our business functions will have to embrace and incorporate sustainability into their respective functions. People in operations will have to start paying more attention to things like foreign labor rights, public engagements, and green materials on top of health and safety and productivity issues. Procurement functions will have to strategize on having a more responsible supply chain in addition to just getting better prices. Corporate strategy, land banking and property land banking will need to incorporate climate risk factors in assessing long-term asset values. Even the accountants will have to start tracking and measuring more non-financial data in the future. These are some examples of how our organization will need to respond to emerging sustainability topics for us to continue to stay relevant and resilient. As the demands on us are getting more sophisticated, it will be important to evolve our thinking and the way we deliver our products and services. It must thus become an important component of our risk management framework. In closing, I would like to assure you that the board is fully supportive of management's efforts to undertake greater adoption of sustainability measures going forward. I understand that at the group level and all divisions are coming up with their respective sustainability roadmaps for financial year 22 to 24. And I want to encourage you to be bold and challenge yourself to incorporate sustainability strategically so that it brings business value and not just treat this as a mere compliance exercise. The more holistic our approach to business, the more robust our risk management framework will also get. Lastly, as I mentioned in my chairman's statement, in this year's annual report, we must adopt a learning mindset and embrace fresh perspectives to meet the demands of the new economy. I wish you all the best for a fruitful sustainability week ahead. Thank you very much.